Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming all WSPD and sworn personnel. Good morning. I'm Annie Sims. I'm the Public Information Officer here at the Winston-Salem Police Department. I'm excited to welcome each of you as we gather to celebrate the graduation of Winston-Salem Police Academy Class 80. Please rise as the recruits from the Winston-Salem Police Department's 80th Academy enter the room, along with the WSPD training and recruiting staff. Please remain standing as the WSPD's Honor Guard presents our national colors and for the singing of the national anthem by Recruit Jared Simpson. During the singing of the national anthem, it is the protocol of the Winston-Salem Police Department that sworn law enforcement officers and professional staff place their right hand over their hearts. We would be honored if you joined us appropriately.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Recruit Simpson. Please be seated. Before we begin, join me in a moment of silence for a time of invocation or reflection led by Chaplain Ronnie Beatty.
Thank you. May we pray. Our Father, when we see the stars and the stripes, we hear our great national anthem, we rejoice. We're thankful that for nearly 250 years, you have allowed us as a nation to have the freedoms of a constitutional republic. We realize this is so because of your blessings, because for all of these years, you have raised up patriots. You have raised up men and women. You have placed them in these strategic positions to guarantee and to hold true the freedoms of this nation. We thank you for this special day. We thank you for this recruit class. Thank you once again for raising up these cherished people to stand in the gap between light and darkness, good and evil. It is our prayer that you will give them wisdom beyond their years as they proceed forward. It is our prayer that you give them safety, give them integrity to determine the difference between right and wrong. Then, Lord, we pray for all of the men and women who daily protect this city, our chief, all of the staff, all of the dear precious people who make it possible for us to live in and around the city of Winston-Salem in peace and tranquility. We pray protection for our department. We pray, Lord, that you will continue to watch over them, give them wisdom and guidance and divine direction. And now, Lord, we ask you to help in the proceedings here today. Get honor and glory to your name. And we'll thank you because we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
On December 9th, the 80th Winston-Salem Police Academy embarked on a journey, and the men who sit before you began their adventure to become Winston-Salem Police Department officers. Over the past weeks, they faced challenges, tackled difficulties, and reached incredible accomplishments. And now we have 20 exceptional individuals who have completed this mission, ready to start a new chapter filled with public service and dedication. Let's give them a big round of applause. I'd like to take a moment to recognize and sincerely thank you, our distinguished guests joining us today. Our city management team, members of City Council, the Mayor's office, and the leaders of our neighboring public safety agencies, foundations, organizations in our community. Your presence here means more than you know. This milestone would not be possible without your continued support. Whether you're approving our budgets, signing off on critical paperwork, standing beside us in the field, or offering a simple word of encouragement, your contributions are deeply valued. You each play a vital role in the success of our agency and in the growth of the recruits who have committed themselves to this months-long journey of service. Thank you for your time, your trust, and the energy you consistently invest in us. It does not go unnoticed and makes all the difference. And of course, to all of our additional honored guests, the friends and family members who have stood by these recruits every step of the way. Thank you for being here today and for sharing this special moment with us. Your support has been instrumental. Over the course of this 7-month journey, there were undoubtedly challenges, and without your encouragement, some of these recruits may have chosen a different path. Your presence and belief in them make all the difference. At the heart of our city's leadership is a dedicated group of individuals who help shape the future of Winston-Salem. Our city is guided by an 8-member council led by Mayor Alan Joines. Mayor Joines retired as deputy city manager in 2000 after 30 years of service and was first elected mayor in 2001. Now, in his 6th term, he continues to lead with vision, commitment, and a deep passion for our community. Mayor Alan Joines is out of town today, but still wanted to share a message of support for our newest police officers. Let's all turn to the screen and watch this message as you begin this journey.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Joines, Mayor of the City of Winston-Salem. It's my honor to greet you virtually today. And I'm so sorry I can't be with you in person because I'm out of town. Today, we're celebrating the BLET Class 80, and we are thrilled to welcome this group of new public safety officers to our city government. You know, local government, one of our primary functions is to provide public safety to our citizens, and we do that obviously through our police and fire department and other agencies. We're delighted that as I understand it, we may have one of the largest, if not the largest, BLT class in a long time. So we're delighted to have these new officers joining our force. I want to personally thank each one of you for being willing to put your lives on the line for the citizens of Winston-Salem. We work hard, the City Council and I, in trying to make sure we're providing appropriate salaries and benefits that are competitive with other cities across the state and the region. I think we're doing a pretty good job with that, but I'm sure you'll tell us if we're not. But again, thank you for your willingness to step up and provide public safety to our citizens. I want to thank Chief Penn and all the members of his staff for the hard work they've done in producing this wonderful class. So I wish you the best in your career, a safe career with the City of Winston-Salem's Police Department.
It is my pleasure to introduce someone who has spent a lifetime serving our community with passion and purpose. As the East Ward Council member and Public Safety Chair of the City of Winston-Salem, she brings decades of leadership experience across public service, corporate roles, the arts, and community development. A proud product of the Reynoldstown neighborhood, she is a graduate of Howard University with a degree in business administration and holds a master's in liberal studies from Duke University. Her commitment to equity, engagement, and progress continues to uplift our city. Please join me in welcoming Councilmember Annette Scipio.
Well, good morning. What a marvelous day this is. I believe I saw these wonderful young men when they began their journey. And now we're at the first big milestone of your journey with us. I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking on this task. When I was thinking about what I would share with you this morning, it came to me just yesterday. Yesterday, I was at the National Veterans Memorial and Museum in Columbus, Ohio. And as I looked at those exhibits, all of a sudden I saw exactly what I needed to share with you, because your journey is very similar to what our veterans have gone through. Parts of the words that were said that I loved was, and I'm going to just change it a little bit to make it reflect you. Basic training or boot camp transforms citizens into members of the armed forces, into the members of the Winston-Salem Police Department, by instilling in them the values of loyalty, sacrifice, duty, and obedience. The physical and psychological challenges are formidable, but service members, you graduates, emerge with confidence and a strong sense of commitment to one another and to our community. You are now in an exclusive group of specially trained residents who have mastered skills that make our Winston-Salem Police Department a world-class operation. And we deeply appreciate your commitment to the profession you are entering. At the exhibit about the Tuskegee Airmen, there was a quote from Donald Elder, an Army Air Corps in World War II. And he said, when somebody asked, who were the Tuskegee Airmen? Who are the graduates of the Winston-Salem Police Academy? They say it's just a bunch of good old red-blooded American boys who went out there and did their job and did it well without any expectations of recognition or fanfare. We just did what we had to do, and we're proud of it. And I know that will be what you are doing now, not looking for recognition or fanfare, but doing an excellent job. You know, our residents have great expectations of you. Some want you to be heroes, and some will see you as villains. Some of their expectations are very realistic, like when you come to an accident scene and you handle the other driver. Some expectations may seem ridiculous because we want you to be Superman and to always be perfect in every situation. But that's what people expect. But more importantly, I want you to think about what you expect. So I suggest to you today that you get a journal, and I want you to write down right now what you expect on this job that you're undertaking, out of this career. What do you feel right now? If you said you did the best job, what would that look like? Just capture today in your own words. This is your personal journey. Because I know this, as you write in that journal over the weeks and days and months and years, you will change. You will become the very best person you never thought you would be. There will be moments that you will just feel so great because a little child has says, "Thank you." And there are times when you'll be saddened because you see something that's not very pleasant for a child. But capture those moments, write it down. Because I want you to think about and read those comments years from now. And what you will discover is how you matured, how you obtained wisdom, what your compassion has been, and the love you have for others in this community and on your team. I thank you, and on behalf of our Public Safety Committee, we are there for you. And I want to acknowledge our members of our Public Safety Committee. We have one who's here with us today, Councilmember Scott Andrew Bowman. We have Councilmember Regina Hall and Councilmember Vivian Joyner. And we all appreciate the work that is done by our Winston-Salem Police Department. And we're looking forward to being with you on your journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Scipio. I now have the honor to introduce our guest speaker for today. Today's speaker is Vice Admiral John G. Morgan, Jr., U.S. Navy, retired, a distinguished leader whose career spans decades of service in both military and private sectors. A graduate of the University of Virginia with a degree in economics, Admiral Morgan served 36 years in the U.S. Navy. On September 11, 2001, he was commanding the USS Enterprise carrier battle group and made the critical decision on his own authority to redirect his force to become the first in theater against Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. For his leadership in combat, he was awarded the Bronze Star. Admiral Morgan later became a key advisor to the Chief of Naval Operations and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He is credited with authoring a cooperative strategy for 21st century sea power, a groundbreaking plan that unified the Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard under a common strategic vision focused on prevention, diplomacy, and global cooperation. In the private sector, Admiral Morgan has led companies to record profitability and now serves as the co-founder and CEO of Supply Trust Technologies, a firm specializing in supply chain risk management. Locally, he continues to serve his community on several nonprofit boards, including as chairman of the Forsyth County Veterans Treatment Court and as a member of the Winston-Salem Police Foundation. Please join me in welcoming Admiral John G. Morgan, Jr.
Good morning, everybody, and what a special morning this is. This is a day these graduates, I'll bet you, will never forget. Any thanks for that kind introduction. I'm both honored and grateful to be here and to take part in this important ceremony. Also, thank all of you for attending this special day, celebrating the Class 80 graduates in our phenomenal Winston-Salem Police Department. Chief Penn, you and the men and women of your agency are keeping us safe and building a better community, and for that, I salute you. Most importantly, let me turn my attention to these stars sitting in front of me. I've enjoyed the good fortune of attending two class sessions with these recruits during this program. Look at you. Come on, everybody. Look at this magnificent class that is joining the ranks of the police department today. Families, friends, distinguished guests, we're all here today for one simple reason. That's to celebrate you and all that you've accomplished. It's been a long, hard road. You've been tested and you won. You've earned the admiration of your instructors, the department's leadership, and everyone here. I want to also thank your dedicated instructors and to those who helped you along the way. This is a comprehensive and rigorous training program that started nearly 8 months ago. 27 recruits started back in December, and now 20 of the best graduates are here today. This training program is a model for the nation. It covers every aspect of hard work that police officers perform every day. I commend the architects of this impressive program and those who sustain it and make it better from class to class. While today marks the end of becoming a key member of a winning team, it also marks the beginning of learning, growth, and experience that is needed to become an invaluable team player. Let's be honest, policing is highly demanding and potentially dangerous service to our citizens and community. To protect and to serve is your department's mantra. There is no higher calling. Remember always, you now belong to a winning team. Speaking of teams, Navy SEALs, who I fought with in Afghanistan and Iraq, have a great saying about teams. They say, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Think about that for a second. 2 is 1, 1 is none. You see, it's all about teamwork, both in the military and policing. On that note, I've always been fond of Rudyard Kipling's poem, The Law of the Jungle, when he writes this. Now this is the law of the jungle. It's as old and as true as the sky. And the wolf that shall keep it may prosper, and the wolf that shall break it must die. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. On the back wall of the department's main conference room is emblazoned with the face of a wolf, entitled Positive Wolf. Each of you are expected to become a positive wolf, and I know you will endeavor to do that every day on every shift. As Annie said, I had the privilege of leading 10,000 men and women during combat operations in both Iraq and Afghanistan. That was all part of the Enterprise Aircraft Carrier Strike Group. Over the course of several weeks, we flew 1,000 combat sorties and dropped 1 million pounds of bombs. I told my flight crews that I wanted them to be focused, precise, and efficient. I'm not a police officer, but I think that's good advice for you. There are some important similarities between the military and policing, but equally striking differences. One common challenge is managing escalation and de-escalation. I think the first instinct we share is to try to de-escalate a crisis. The toughest decision you will ever make is to use deadly force if your life, your teammates' lives, or other lives are in danger. Your department protocols, your leadership, your training will guide you through this danger. Let me go back to where I started. Look at you. Here's what I see when I look at you. I see determination. I see discipline. You should never become complacent. This is very important because complacency is your biggest enemy. I see conviction when I look at you, your willingness to succeed. I see integrity, and I see you as a problem solver. You know, leadership is doing the right thing when things are going wrong. Finally, when I look at you, I see character. Character does not come from your circumstance at birth, your education, or your position. Character comes from personal grit, discipline, and conviction. One last thing before I close. This is not a one-way street whereby the police simply take care of us. It's a two-way street calling on us, the grateful public, to support our police force. It calls on community leaders, common citizens like you and me, and parents to help our police force wherever and however we can. Our police force has a duty to us, and we have an equally important duty to them. We're often flooded with bad news, but we're very fortunate to live in Winston-Salem because there's a lot of good news going on in your police department and your community. Your police department just keeps getting better and better and better. Crime is down. Violent crime is down. The forensics unit is fully staffed for the first time in 15 years. When violent crime does occur, 87% of the cases are solved here in Winston-Salem. The national average is 50%. The department is growing. Attrition is down and recruiting is up. Class 80 started with 27 recruits. Class 81, sitting up there in the balcony, now has 36 recruits, and Class 40 will have 40. Most importantly, these recruits now are mostly homegrown right here in Winston-Salem because they know that members of the department feel valued and respected. We should be very proud of Chief Penn and his superb leadership team. But there's more good news. Winston-Salem is taking a whole-of-community approach to making this a great place to live. Here are just a few examples of the outreach programs. There are youth athletic programs ranging from t-ball to flag football. There are scholarship programs from middle schools to high schools. Soon, 900 school bags will be given out to children as they get ready for school. There are literacy programs that provide books to kids. There's even a Paws of Honor program that provides free veterinary care for retired police dogs. How cool is that? Finally, there's an arts council, and I could go on and on and on. It's important for you to know that your police department is involved in all of these programs and activities. And the good news doesn't stop there. Leading companies in Winston-Salem are making financial investments that benefit your police department. As you can see, Chief Penn is a strong advocate for community and family involvement. He knows parents play a huge role in keeping teenagers on the right track. There's a wonderful organization called the Winston-Salem Police Foundation that raises money and helps the department in lots of important ways. Much of the good news I've reported to you today is the work of that spectacular foundation. Their leader, Scott Somerville, is here. Scott, could you stand for a second and be recognized? Thank you for all your major contributions. Finally, technology is making contributions to keeping us safe. The best example is the Real-Time Crime Center that uses a multitude of cameras, sensors, and drones to quickly respond to an untoward event. Did you know that your smart doorbell camera can be linked to the Real-Time Crime Center to add yet another sensor to that network? Mine is. All of this is to say is that we're blessed with a world-class police department. These graduates remind us that we all have a duty to serve in our own way. By attending today's ceremony, you're answering that call. So in closing, to the graduates of Class 80, I want you to know this. Today, you become a symbol of safety and security. Today, and more importantly, you become a symbol of hope. Across the nation, cities, towns, and communities need more of you. We need you. Your department needs you. Our vibrant city needs you. Don't worry when you fail or fall short. Just learn and get better. Don't kid yourself. You're going to change this community for the better. I know you won't disappoint. If ever I can help, I pledge my support. One last thing, when I look at you, I love what I see. Most importantly, when I look at you, I know you've chosen a life of consequence. To all of you here, thank you for recognizing this impressive class and taking part in this special celebration. Congratulations, Class 80. Please become a positive wolf and do me one favor. Sail proud. I salute you and I thank you.
Thank you, Admiral Morgan. Chief William Penn will now present Admiral Morgan with a token of appreciation. Thank you, Chief Penn. Now let's take a moment to recognize our amazing full-time training staff. These individuals are dedicated to making sure our agency thrives by developing and educating our personnel. They're the superheroes behind the scenes, juggling countless projects and programs, all while providing steadfast support to both our recruits and veteran officers. They often start their day before the sun rises with physical training and work late into the evening. This incredible team pours their hearts into molding our recruits into a cohesive unit, preparing them to join the ranks of Winston-Salem's finest. Let's give a huge round of applause to our phenomenal training staff. Becoming a police officer isn't easy, and not everyone makes the cut. It takes a team of dedicated professionals working behind the scenes to identify, vet, and guide the very best candidates through the rigorous hiring process. Today, we want to recognize and thank the incredible members of our recruiting division team for their hard work and commitment. These WSPD family members reviewed countless applications, conducted extensive background checks, and ensured every candidate met the high standards expected of the Winston-Salem Police Department. Their work is vital to building the future of our department, and Class 80 is proof of their success. We also want to extend a special thank you to our part-time employees and augmentation officers who stepped in and assisted with background investigations and other critical tasks. Their contributions are essential to our ability to efficiently and thoroughly evaluate applicants and keep our recruitment pipeline moving. Because of this collective effort, we're proud to say that the men of Class 80 represent the finest of our community, ready to serve with honor, integrity, and professionalism. Let's give them a big round of applause for their hard work. And last but not least, did you know that more than 100 state-certified instructors from the WSPD and Forsyth Tech played a part in training our recruits? These incredible individuals provided over 1,000 hours of top-notch instruction, showcasing their dedication and professionalism. In addition, multiple individuals are involved in the implementation and execution of our post-academy training program that requires being out in the field. These field training officers, as we like to call them, FTOs, wear two hats, patrol officer and trainer. They guide our new officers, building on their academy education, and mold them into professional, productive members of the WSPD. Please join me in thanking all of our academy instructors and field training officers. Now, it's time for a tradition at Academy graduation. One of our recruits will deliver the graduation speech on behalf of Class 80. The recruits voted to have one of their own represent the entire class with this speech. The recruit representing and delivering the graduation speech for Class 80 is Recruit Adam Martinez.
Well, good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I want to express how grateful I am to have this opportunity to speak on behalf of you all today. When I was first told I'd have the opportunity to give this speech, I'll be honest, I was pretty nervous. And it wasn't necessarily the implication of speaking in front of you all today that made me feel that way, but more than anything, because for the duration of this speech, that I would be acting as a representative of all of you, and that is no small responsibility. Every single one of you has brought unique qualities, experiences, and strengths that has made our class truly special. And capturing that into words, even standing here now, still feels like an enormous task. But nonetheless, here we all are, ready to graduate and celebrate the culmination of all of our hard work and commitment. December 9th, 2024 was the first day of Academy Class 80. Looking back, there were 220 days standing between us and today. And this moment seemed so far away it was almost impossible to imagine what it would even be like. I'm sure we all remember that first morning well. It was a cold, dark, and rainy morning as we made our way into Beatty. I know I, for one, will always remember the 20 or so minutes we all stood there silently, complete strangers, sizing one another up and trying to prepare for what would come next. So, as we all lined up and walked through those double doors, signifying the beginning of the academy, it was game on from there, was it not? My memories from the rest of the day, pretty hazy, in all honesty, but I think we can all agree that that day set the tone for the next few months while we learned how to work as a team. When we started this journey, we were 20 individuals from vastly different backgrounds, life experiences, and as was the most apparent in the first few weeks, opinions. It's no surprise, really. We came from all different walks of life, some of us from military service, all sorts of different civilian careers, and for most of us, this was a big change from whatever we were doing before. Now, in the beginning, to be honest with ourselves, it took us a little while to figure it out. It was the simple things that got us the most often. Double parking our cars right in front of Beatty because we were in a hurry. Forgetting to scratch out the combinations on the back of the locks on our lockers. Forgetting our running shoes and having to run all through downtown wearing a pair of oversized Jordans. Or better yet, trying to iron our Class A shirts the morning of an inspection and leaving a giant burn mark on the shirt in the shape of an iron. Now, following each of these mistakes and many, many others were lessons. These lessons typically involved push-ups, flutter kicks, wall sits, and Class 80's favorite, log PT. And during those minutes that felt like hours, where we were working to hold those logs over our heads, we were reminded the importance of working as a team. And so one of the most remarkable parts of this experience was to see that even despite all of our differences, how we became so much more than just 20 separate people trained together. Over time, we did learn. We learned how to function as a cohesive unit, and we found ourselves brought together by a shared purpose, which is to be a part of something bigger than ourselves and to serve our community. The training we've endured has tested us in ways that I think most of us never imagined it would. The physical challenges have at times pushed our bodies to the limits. The mental challenges forced us to think critically under pressure, to make split-second decisions and constantly be adapting and learning. There were plenty of early mornings when our bodies ached, plenty of late nights when our minds were exhausted, and moments when many of us questioned if we really had any idea what we were doing at all. I'm sure we all remember when, as a class, we attempted to make a felony misdemeanor arrest in the mat room, and just about how well that went. And although we laughed about it then and we laugh about it now, it's a moment that really reminds us of just how far we've come since those early days. Now, Class 80, over these months, we have gone from complete strangers standing in the lobby of Beatty looking like deer in the headlights to forming a type of bond that can really only be formed through shared struggle and perseverance. I learned a lot about all of you and a lot about myself in the same process. I learned about your strengths, your weaknesses, your goals, your hopes, your reasons for choosing this career, and what you're passionate about outside of here. Things like riding motorcycles, playing dodgeball, collecting empty cans of Monster energy drinks, and one of you, your particular love of animals. But all jokes aside, here's the most important thing I've learned about all of you. You all turned every single obstacle that we encountered into an opportunity. And every challenge, we discovered a chance to grow stronger, and not just individually, but as a team. When one of us struggled, the other stepped up. And when the training was tough, we just got tougher with it and faced our challenges head on. I'm sure each and every one of you can think back to a moment where your body wanted to quit, but you refused to. Or remember a time when someone in this class needed support and you stepped up to give it. Or a time when you yourself had to bounce back from a setback and found the strength to keep pushing through. Even after the hardest days, each and every one of you found a way to pick yourself up, shake it off, and show up the next day ready to take it head on. And to me, the fact that you all did that proves that you have it. You have that X factor that separates you from those in our city who do not believe in our mission, which is to secure the hope and well-being of this community. And seeing that and spending all these months together, I can say without a shadow of a doubt, you are the people that I would want by my side on my worst days. And those moments were much more than just challenging days. They revealed something within each of us that many of us didn't even know existed before we walked through those double doors. The hardships didn't just build us up physically and mentally, but they also confirmed to us that this is where we wanted to be. Every challenging day, every moment when we questioned if we could continue, ultimately served to deepen our resolve and prove that every single one of us standing here today is not just a better version of themselves than when we started, but also someone who has learned the skills and the mindset to keep improving throughout our careers and our lives. Now, I also want to take a moment to look out at the audience today and acknowledge another great thing about today, and that's the number of friends and family members here today. It's truly incredible. Seeing all your faces, parents, spouses, children, siblings, and friends, it's incredibly meaningful to all of us. Your presence here today shows just how much support we have as we begin our law enforcement careers, and that support means more than we could ever even put into words. So for now, all I can say is thank you. Thank you for your unwavering support during this journey. Thank you for understanding those early mornings and those long nights. Thank you for being patient when we came home exhausted and mentally drained. And most of all, thank you for believing in us even when we doubted ourselves. Each and every one of us is grateful for the sacrifices that you made alongside us. And we want you to know that your support has been invaluable in getting us to this moment. And many of you seated here today are members of this community. So we also want you to know that we are coming into this profession with a genuine eagerness to serve. We understand that we are joining a department that has earned your trust through decades of dedicated service, and we are committed to upholding those same high standards that others have established. We do not take lightly the responsibility of continuing the work that has been done to keep our community safe and to build positive relationships. The values that define the Winston-Salem Police Department, integrity, professionalism, and a dedication to service, are not just ideals that we learned about, but they are commitments we are making to you today. So we are ready to serve this community and to honor the trust that you've placed in this department by building upon the strong foundation that those before us have created. On behalf of Class 80, I also want to extend our deepest gratitude to our training staff and all members of the Winston-Salem Police Department who worked tirelessly to prepare us for this career. We recognize that for every hour of training we received, you put in at least double that time in preparation. Your dedication to making us the best officers we can be has not gone unnoticed. And my hope is that every one of us in Class 80 will continue to grow into the best versions of ourselves that we can be, the versions that you all have showed us we are capable of becoming. We could see the pride that you took in our progress and achievements, and we want you to know that the lessons you've taught us will stay with us throughout our career. You've shared your knowledge, your experience, and your passion for this profession with us, and we will be better officers and are better people because of it. Our BLET Sergeant Bryant, shared something with us on more than one occasion that has stuck with me throughout this entire process. He would tell us that we do not rise to the occasion, but we fall back to our training. And from the moment he said it for the first time, those words sat heavy with me, and I kept them with me all throughout our training. And they sit with me heavy today, more so than ever, as we stand here ready to take our oath. But thanks to those countless hours our training staff invested in us, we are well equipped and prepared with the skills and the knowledge we need to start successful careers making a meaningful difference. In Class 80, when we face those challenging situations, and we will not have to hope that we rise to the occasion. We can be confident that we will fall back to the solid foundation of training, knowledge, and character that has been built in us over these past 220 days. So as we prepare to take our oath and officially begin our careers, I want to leave you all with this. Class 80 is ready. We are ready to serve this community. We are ready to make a difference, and we are ready to uphold the values and the standards of the Winston-Salem Police Department. To my fellow members of Class 80, congratulations to you all. We accomplished this together, and I'm extremely proud to call myself a member of this class. I'm incredibly thankful for each and every one of you, and it was my pleasure and my honor to have gone through this with all of you. The memories we've made will no doubt last a lifetime. And no matter where our careers take us, we will always be Class 80. And to everyone here today, once again, we are grateful you are here to celebrate with us and for being a part of this special moment in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Recruit Martinez. Traditionally, the Winston-Salem Police Department presents special awards during graduation to members of each class who have distinguished themselves during the academy training. Today, we present 3 awards to members of Class 80, and they are as follows: the Vivian H. Burke Character Award, the Sergeant Mickey G. Hutchins Honor Graduate Award, and our highest award, the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Jr. Colleague Award. We'll begin with the Vivian H. Burke Character Award presented by our City Manager, Patrick Pate. Mr. Patrick Pate oversees the day-to-day operation and delivery of city services by more than 2,400 city employees. Please welcome our City Manager, Patrick Pate.
Thank you, and let me also add my congratulations to the class of 80. I was going to say, I'm a 80 graduate as well, but that was high school, so that's a whole different thing. The dictionary defines character as the attributes and ethical traits that distinguish a person. In essence, character is revealed by what a person does, even when, or especially when, no one is looking. The Vivian H. Burke Character Award is named in honor of the late Mayor Pro Tem and a council member of the Northeast Ward, Vivian Burke. She was chairman of the Public Safety Committee for 36 years. Elected in 1977, she dedicated 43 years to public service. So you don't have to go 43 years, 30 and you get to retire, but that's all right. 43 years was a lot. She was the longest serving elected official in our city's history when she passed away in May of 2020. This award is presented to the recruit in each police and fire training class who best exemplifies integrity, ethical behavior, and team building abilities, the true hallmarks of strong character. And for the class of 80, one recruit stood out in embodying these qualities. It is my pleasure to announce that the recipient of the Vivian H. Burke Character Award for the class 80 is recruit Ben Bizzell. Please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Pate. We are now honored to invite Beth Hutchins up on stage. Ms. Hutchins is the widow of Sergeant Mickey G. Hutchins, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty while serving our community. Sergeant Mickey G. Hutchins was shot outside a local restaurant after he responded to a call reporting a disturbance there. This is the first ever Honor Graduate Award being presented as the Sergeant Mickey G. Hutchins Honor Graduate Award. Sergeant Mickey Hutchins was the Honor Graduate recipient for Class 14. The Sergeant Mickey G. Hutchins Honor Graduate Award will now be presented by Assistant Chief Christopher Diamont and Beth Hutchins.
Entrance-level training for Class 80 police officer trainees consisted of over 1,000 hours of law enforcement training in 36 different subjects that require a written exam and in some subjects a practical application exam. The Honor Graduate Award is presented each year to that trainee who has the highest academic grade average overall. The Honor Graduate for Police Academy Class 80 completed the training with a 98.6 grade point average. The Honor Graduate Award goes to recruit Ben Bizzell.
Can't get away without me having a chance at an open mic. And I know I stand here as the embodiment of all of your worst fears. But let me tell you that if any of my grandchildren ever want to become a police officer or as my nephew did, a fireman for the city of Winston-Salem. I believe in your heart, if you have that service in there, that you're going to be taken care of. I appreciate all that you did. I know that you have not had a day since December that you haven't had to study something. We know that this has impacted your personal lives and your family lives as well. I appreciate all that you did, and I'm very impressed with the 98.6. I'll be seeing you guys as you go through the ranks for the next couple of years. Thank you.
We are now honored to invite Tanya Tice up on stage. Ms. Tice is the widow of Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty while serving our community. The next award, the Tice Award, is the one that each officer present here today is familiar with and cherishes as a symbol and reminder of the great price members of this profession might be asked to pay for the privilege of serving in law enforcement. Assistant Chief Diamont and Tanya Tice will now present the Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice Junior Colleague Award.
Let us please pause for a moment of silence to remember Lieutenant Aaron G. Tice, Jr. Thank you. The Lieutenant Aaron Jerome Tice, Jr. Colleague Award. If you were to ask a community what qualities they desire in their police officers, you'd likely hear words like honest, hardworking, competent, and professional. If you ask the same question to a police department, you'd hear those same words, along with courageous, strong, trustworthy, and dependable. The Colleague Award is named in honor of Aaron Jerome Tice, Jr., who joined the Winston-Salem Police Department on October the 3rd, 1968, as a police officer. Throughout his remarkable career, Lieutenant Tice served in the patrol, detective, vice and narcotics, and training divisions. He was mild-mannered, well-loved, and highly respected by all who knew him. Tragically, while serving as a field commander in the patrol division during the early hours of June 26, 1992, Lieutenant Tice was killed while assisting officers in the investigation of a stolen vehicle. His physical absence is deeply felt, but his spiritual presence continues to inspire us. A few weeks before each recruit class graduation, the members of the class are asked to vote for one of their peers who best exemplifies the qualities we hold dear in our profession. For Class 80, one individual stood out among the rest. We are honored to have Mrs. Tanya Tice, the wife of Lieutenant Tice, with us today to present this award. The WSPD is grateful for her unwavering support of the BLET program. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Tice to present the Colleague Award. The Lieutenant Aaron Jerome Tice, Jr. Colleague Award for Class 80 is presented to Recruit Benjamin Bizzle.
Thank you. I would also like to take a moment and recognize all of our family members in the audience today who have lost a loved one in the line of duty. Your courage and bravery do not go unnoticed, as we know that grieving continues forever. I now have the honor of introducing our Chief of Police, Chief William H. Penn, Jr. He is a 27-year veteran of the Winston-Salem Police Department. He is a proud Winston-Salem native, having grown up on the city's east side. He began his career with the Winston-Salem Police Department in 1997 and has worked his way through the ranks until his most recent promotion to chief in January of 2023, serving in various capacities throughout the department. Chief Ben is active in the community service through Boy Scouts, HBCU Living Legends, Habitat for Humanity, and YMCA of Northwest NC. In addition, he is an inductee into Carver High School's Hall of Fame, who was honored by the NWOA's Profiles of Prominence and is a recipient of the Trailblazer Award by the Triad Minority and Women's Business Expo. He graduated from UNCG, where he received a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Chief Penn continued his education at WSSU, earning a master's degree in Business Administration. It is now time for Chief William H. Penn to come to the podium, provide final remarks, and start the presentation of certificates and badges.
Thank you and good morning. I thought when it was time for me to come up here, it was going to be Bissell to do it for me. So I'm not all that prepared. Today is a great day. And before I get into my very, very brief remarks, I couldn't help but notice as I stand here, I see Marshall Thompson over there, a former police chief, and I see former retired Assistant Chief Wilson Weaver, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is the first class since 1984 where we didn't have Wilson Weaver somewhere on the roster list. I always think it's appropriate to do a temperature check of an organization. So at this time, any former employees of the Winston-Salem Police Department, please stand. Let's give them a hand. I say that's a temperature check because when our folks retire and that door closes behind them, when they come back to celebrate our achievements, I think that says something about the organization. So with that said, another reason of the many reasons why I'm proud to be a part of this organization. Please stand if you're a retired WSPD employee and you thought enough of the agency that you sent your child back to be a part of this class. Please stand. So I'll tell you, this is the 5th class in a row where we have a legacy student in our ranks. I think that says a lot, A, about the retiree and what you thought of the agency that you served, also what you think of us. So I appreciate you trusting us with your loved one. With all the partners we have, I'd like to acknowledge other departments within the city who came out to support us today. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you for that. And let's say you don't work for the city, you're not related to any of the employees, and you still came out today. Please stand and be recognized. And last but definitely not least, the support system. The ones who kept these fellas straight, told them to quit crying and get back in there and jump back in the fight. Would you now please stand and be recognized? And you guys make sure you give them a hand. If you're a family, friend, supported them in any manner, please stand and be recognized. So Class 80, I just wanted to make sure you knew that you have support. So to the family support system, I know you're extremely proud, and maybe just a teeny bit nervous about your loved ones. So I just want to let you know, I got 3 words for you. We got them, okay? So there are hundreds of brothers and sisters wearing uniforms and civilian clothes who have their back. So don't you worry about them. Because I know they're your little darlings, but we have transformed them into lean, mean, crime-fighting machines, okay? Look, they have been trained to give directions, to help change a tire, and if somebody want to take it there, they know how to handle that too. So with that said, Class 80 is hitting the streets in Winston-Salem. We're proud. This community should be proud. This profession is proud. And this country is proud. Because as you stated earlier, 20 individuals decided that there was a cause larger than themselves. And they didn't just talk about it. They showed up and they did something about it. And then they became one. So we're all lucky to have you. What I was also thinking about, Class 80, is that all of these folks are here for you. And in a short period of time, you're going to swear an oath. And as much as we're proud of you, and this is your day, I want you to pay attention to the words in that oath. Because while we celebrate you, there's an expectation that you live up to the very words you say. And when you don't, you check each other. Because that's what we do. That's who we are. And as I've told you all plenty of times, to the point I know you're tired of hearing me say it, there's no plan B. There is no plan B. When our community calls us and they need us, it's us. And we're going to be there. And we're going to be competent. And we're going to be courageous. Because the community recognizes that you all, in putting on that uniform, said, I'm willing to work in the heat. I'm willing to work in the cold. I'm willing to work in the rain. And if push comes to shove, I put more value on your life, i.e. our community, than ourselves. And we accept that. So again, celebrate, enjoy, but don't forget the oath you're about to swear to. Sergeant Bryant. Front and center. Sergeant Bryant, as the duly appointed Basic Law Enforcement Training Sergeant for the Winston-Salem Police Department, do you personally certify that the students of Class 80 of the Winston-Salem Police Academy have met all school requirements and regulations and have successfully completed all courses and activities that comprise the police basic law enforcement training? Yes, sir. Sergeant Bryant, having provided assurances that the members of Class 80 of the Winston-Salem Police Department have met all requirements which entitle them to receive a certificate signifying successful completion of the Winston-Salem Police Department's prescribed training program, please present these students for graduation, the receipt of their certificates, and the badges of their office. So I just moved.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a cherished tradition at our academy graduation that as I call the name of each recruit, they will come forward to receive their certificate and be congratulated by the dignitaries on stage. Additionally, each member of Class 80 has chosen someone special to share in the honor of presenting them with their badge of office and pinning it on them for the very first time. This badge is more than just a symbol. It represents public faith and trust. It obliges those who wear it to uphold the highest standards of personal and professional conduct, far beyond the expectations of the citizens they serve. Class 80, you're fully aware that not everyone can earn this badge. Be proud of your accomplishments and always honor the badge you are about to receive. At this time, I would like to invite the friends and family members selected to pin the badge to move to the front right side of the room near the backdrop and wait for your officer to arrive. To maintain the dignity of this ceremony, please hold your applause until all graduates have recited the oath of office. Charles Barkley. Benjamin Bizzle. Douglas Burns. Audric Clark. Nathan Dale. Pedro Dominguez Abarca. Grant Eichen. Daniel Jones. Sean Lazarchuk. Samuel Manning. Adam Martinez. Ryan Pettit. Albert Prince. Jonathan Reza. Lenny Santos. Jared Simpson. Chase Taylor, the third Taylor to come through the academy. Anthony Thomas. Terrence Thompson. And last but certainly not least, Caden White. I will now call forward the Clerk of Superior Court, Denise Hines, to administer the oath of office. I ask that all sworn personnel stand and to remain standing.
Good morning. As your clerk of court, it's always an honor for me to administer this oath of service to our incoming officers. But an equal honor is to be able to administer the oath as the mother of a Winston-Salem police officer. I want to thank you as your elected clerk, as the mother of a Winston-Salem police officer, and as a citizen of the Winston-Salem Forsyth community for your willingness to serve and protect our community. Thank you so very much. The way that we will administer the oath is if you would please pick up your Bibles. As I read your oath for you to recite, I'm going to state the word I. After I say I, each of you will individually state your names. When we get to Officer White, I will then start the oath again, and you will repeat the words as I say them. Are you ready? Please raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible. I, Officer Barkley, state your name. Do solemnly and sincerely swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional powers and authorities which are or may be established for the government thereof, and that I will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of said state, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of my knowledge, abilities, so help me God. I, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will be alert and vigilant to enforce the criminal laws of said state, that I will not be influenced in any manner on account of personal bias or prejudice, that I will faithfully and impartially execute the duties of my office as a law enforcement officer according to the best of my skill, abilities, and judgment. So help me God. Congratulations, class of '80.
You all may be seated for just a minute. We're almost done. So before we conclude today's ceremony, I'd like to invite Captain Jason Swaim to the podium to deliver final remarks on behalf of the recruiting and training staff to Academy Class 80. Captain Swaim oversees the BLET program here at the WSPD, among many other key responsibilities. Please join me in welcoming Captain Swaim as he shares his closing thoughts.
So as Chief Penn said, you all just took an oath, and an oath is very important. So these remarks are to Class 80 and sworn law enforcement officers in attendance. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, men and women of the Winston-Salem Police Department, past, present, and newly sworn police officers of Class 80. Today marks a momentous occasion as you have taken the oath of office and embarked on a noble journey to serve, protect, and support the people of Winston-Salem. As you stand before us, having sworn to uphold the law and defend the innocent, I want to take a moment to reflect on the significance of the oath you have just taken. According to North Carolina General Statute, Chapter 11, an oath is not just a mere formality, but a solemn appeal to Almighty God, the omniscient witness of truth and the just and omnipotent avenger of falsehood. By taking this oath, you have made a sacred promise to speak the truth, to uphold justice, and to defend the rights of all people. As you begin your journey as law enforcement officers, I urge you to remember the gravity of this oath. You have sworn by laying your hand on the Holy Scriptures and standing with your right hand uplifted towards heaven as a token of your engagement to speak the truth and to invoke the vengeance of heaven upon your head if you should swerve from your oath. This oath is just not a promise to your fellow officers, to our department, or to the people you serve. It is a promise to a higher power, a promise to uphold the principles of justice, integrity, and compassion. It is a reminder that your actions will be judged not only by your colleagues and the community, but also by higher authority. As you go about your duties, I encourage you to remember the words of the oath you have taken. Remember that you are not just enforcing laws, but upholding a sacred trust. Remember that you are not just serving the people, but serving a higher purpose. You have just taken on a tremendous responsibility, one that requires courage, integrity, and compassion. But I and your fellow officers have every confidence that every one of you is up to the task. You have been trained to serve with honor, to protect with courage, and to defend with integrity. As you begin this new chapter, I offer you these words of encouragement. Never forget the oath you have taken. Never forget the trust that has been placed in you, and never forget the higher power that watches over you. May you serve with distinction. May you uphold the law with integrity. And may you always remember the solemn promise you have made to protect, serve, and support the people of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Congratulations, Class 80, on your swearing in. May you have a long and distinguished career, and may you always uphold the highest standards of law enforcement. Class 80, this is your last order from your training staff. Make peace with your maker and go. Go police our city with a happy heart. Thank you. Congratulations.
The final thing for today is our code of ethics. So Class 80 today marks your official entry into an elite group of highly trained police officers entrusted by both the public and the government with upholding the highest standards of conduct. These standards, known as the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, can be found in today's program on page 14. I invite everyone in the audience to follow along as our new police officers, alongside all sworn law enforcement personnel here today, recite this code together. We will be led by Captain Jason Swain.
I'll give everybody a moment to find the program, sworn officers. I think it'll be on the screen as well. As a law enforcement officer, my fundamental duty is to serve mankind, to safeguard lives and property, to protect the innocent against deception, the weak against oppression or intimidation, and the peaceful against violence or disorder, and to respect the constitutional rights of all men to liberty, equality, and justice. I will keep my private life unsullied as an example to all, maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, or ridicule, develop self-restraint, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others, honest in thought and deed in both my personal and official life. I will be exemplary in obeying the laws of the land and the regulations of my department. Whatever I see or hear of a confidential nature or that is confided to me in my official capacity will be kept ever secret unless revelation is necessary in the performance of my duty. I will never act officiously or permit personal feelings, prejudice, animosities, or friendships to influence my decisions. With no compromise for crime and with relentless prosecution of criminals, I will enforce the law courteously and appropriately without fear or favor, malice or ill will, never employing unnecessary force or violence, and never accepting gratuities. I recognize the badge of my office as a symbol of faith, and I accept it as a public trust to be held so long as I am true to the ethics of the police service. I will constantly strive to achieve these objectives and ideal, dedicating myself before God and to my chosen profession, law enforcement.
We ask that you please remain seated while our guests, the new graduates and veteran officers with the Winston-Salem Police Department, exit the room. Thank you for coming, and please join the recruits and staff in the foyer to offer your congratulations. Let's all give them one more round of applause. We have some photographers here that will stick around for the next 30 minutes for family and officer photographs. Sergeant Bryant, please dismiss the class one final time. Oh.